Okay, we're gonna do leveling. Wait. Oh, stop. So, what happened? A few weeks ago, after upgrading our Creator 5 Pro to the latest firmware, which was version 1.9.3, and after removing and reattaching the extruder dock to examine its filament port design, we initiated a standard filament load procedure. What happened next? The heater bed rose, but unexpectedly crashed violently into the extruder mount probe. To put it mildly, it was terrifying and frustrating. We were just 11 days into using our printer, and suddenly all 3D printing came to a halt. We reported the issue to Flashforge Support. Over the next few days, we tried 3 fixes. First, rolling back the firmware to version 1.92. Second, re-upgrading the firmware back to version 1.93. And third, disassembled the extruder mount to reseat the wiring of the eddy-current sensor. None worked. Eventually, we suspected that the sensor or its associated components had failed. Flashforge responded with full support. They shipped replacement parts, the extruder mount probe, the eddy current sensor, the circuit board, and the bus cable at no cost to us and via express courier upon our request. After 6 days of further correspondence and waiting, the parts arrived and we replaced them the same day. The crash was gone. Our printer was back in action. What a relief. But in total, we lost nearly 9 days of print time, a steep price for a single upgrade. So what better way to restart our channel than to share exactly what happened and what we learned. You've seen the crashes. Now, let's talk about the lessons. Lesson 1. Don't upgrade firmware too early. Do your homework. If your printer is working well, don't rush to upgrade your firmware. We were eager beavers, early adopters who wanted the latest firmware. But firmware upgrades, especially early ones, can introduce bugs, even in otherwise stable systems. From the moment we received our Creator 5 Pro to the time we made this video, 3 weeks has passed, and Flashforge had already released 3 firmware upgrades and 4 Flash Studio app upgrades. That's fast iteration and great for progress. But it also means early version can be unstable. Our takeaway? Before upgrading your firmware, check release notes. Search online forums for known issues. Wait a few days after a release to see if others report problems, because one misstep can cause days and even weeks of your time. Lesson 2. Firmware can be installed via the USB port, and it's easy to do. You're probably used to upgrading your printer's firmware via the touchscreen, but you can also upgrade or downgrade your printer's firmware via its USB port, and it's actually more convenient for troubleshooting. Here's how. First, format a USB stick as FAT32. Copy the .tgz firmware file, which is provided by Flashforge Support, to the USB stick's root directory. Do not extract or rename it, keep it as is. Third, power off the printer. Next, plug in the USB stick. Next, power on the printer. The update starts automatically. Wait for 2 minutes. You hear a melody. That's the sign of success. Your touchscreen will also tell you so. Finally, unplug the USB stick, power off the printer, and then power it on again. The printer will then take another minute for its MCU to be fully upgraded. And that's it. Simple, fast, and convenient. Lesson 3. The Creator 5 Pro uses a eddy-current sensor to calibrate leveling and extruder offset. Looking at the design of the Creator 5 Pro extruder mount probe assembly, we can see that the eddy current sensor functions as a proximity sensor for the cantilever plate that houses the extruder mount probe. When the probe is pushed, the cantilever beam bends. This will change the distance between the solenoid and the surface. And thereby changes the magnetic field and the signal from here. Since this assembly requires a mechanical force to actuate the extruder mount probe, this means that the Creator 5 Pro can calibrate leveling on both conductive and non-conductive build plates. Next, we'll quickly show you how we gain access to the eddy current sensor that is in the extruder mount. First, we have to remove the 3 screws from the plastic case. Next, we unscrew the 6 screws holding the extruder mount plate. Third, we unplug the 5 wire connectors from the extruder mount circuit board. Finally, we disconnected the eddy current sensor wires from the circuit board. That's it. Just 4 steps to access the heart of the calibration system. Lesson 4. The real heroes behind the Creator 5 Pro is the people. Let's be honest, no product is perfect, but great support can turn a disaster into a success story. The Flashforge team, from frontline support to engineer to warehouse staff, responded fast with empathy and with real solutions. They didn't just send me a link to a manual, they sent replacement parts at no cost, with express shipping. They provided clear instruction and they answered every question even when we were frustrated. In an age of AI chatbots and automated tickets, this human touch matters. Because when you're stuck with a 900 USD printer that won't work, you don't want a robot. You want a real person who cares and can solve your issue. So to Flashforge, keep building great hardware and also invest in your people because they are the one who makes the difference. Our final takeaway: don't rush firmware upgrades. Check, research, And wait, you don't win a prize for being first here. Know how your Creator 5 Pro works, its sensors and calibration. The Creator 5 Pro can indeed calibrate with accuracy and on any build plate. Great support can save your work and your sanity. To every Creator 5 Pro users out there, when something goes wrong, don't panic, don't blame yourself. Reach out to Flashforge Support. You are not alone. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. Until next time, keep printing, keep creating, and have fun at doing them. And above all, stay curious, stay resilient. This is Build Your Own, signing off.